Oh, Mama. Welcome all. There are certain questions that come up from people who are in search of greater awareness, or higher consciousness, liberation, and all these various terminologies that people use. Whatever they mean to each individual, how do we live our daily life? How can we combine being here in this physical body and having to do all these various things and have these various duties and have to earn money and make a living, bring up children, and or have the desire to be married? The problem that we encounter is that we have too many diversion, and we can give ourselves to one thing wholeheartedly. People who are very successful have given themselves wholeheartedly to that subject in which they were successful. So we have to familiarize ourselves what we need from mind and emotion that can also find its satisfaction, its expression on the spiritual path during the time of your search. But till you get there, you can still do one thing. You can bring quality into your life, into every single action, anything that you do. And of course also in your relationship with your husband, with your wife, with your children, with your parents. But thinking in depth, bringing quality into your thinking and awareness in the choice of your words, that is the important thing. You can say to somebody, oh, you want to meet my friend? Now what's your name? You are responsible for your inner harmony and for your happiness as you understand it. Now how can you start with this? We often teach a course that we call Ideal Session. We put some questions to people. If you want, you can write them down. One of the questions is, what kind of a life would you want to live that makes it worth living? Or simpler, what makes your life worthwhile living? And that is a very important question, very important. So if you have answered this, then you ask yourself, what kind of a person do I want to be? Physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And once you have determined that, then the work begins. Because now you have to put all that into action, into practice. You see, philosophers will always say, yeah, Eastern philosophy is wonderful, is the greatest. And you say, well, but you seem to do all these things and you be so specialized in your field. But where does it work in your life? Then they will say, but philosophy isn't meant to be lived. No? I think it has been developed because people need to find ways and means to live differently than they did. But when we put that into a neat academic box, we take the meaning out. Knowledge is only what you know from personal experience. The difference for us as thinking people is what we do with consciousness. And we start with these little ones, not talking down to them, but helping them to think differently. What is the problem in all the workshops? Many of you have been in my workshops. Because your parents were just as ignorant. They couldn't teach you. But the new parents today, they must take a different attitude. They must see a different responsibility. And it is a new generation that must bring quality into life. Otherwise, why should this earth continue to exist? Why do you think all this threat of nuclear war and all this has happened, hanging over people's head? If life is not precious, if life is not sacred, and if parents don't teach children the sacredness of life, then why should it be? You see, these are the questions that you will have to ask yourself. This is where you begin to think how to bring quality into your life. It's you. Nobody can say, now you're going to be like this and this and that. No, nobody can tell you this. So the path of evolution is there for all to see. And it is again you who decide, where do you want to be? Where do you want your place to be? You're born alone. You die alone. And even if you are together in a plane, and in the same plane crash as husband and wife, you're parting from the earth. Is by yourself. Nobody comes with you. So that togetherness that people seek cannot be really on the physical level. It has to be somewhere else. And the only level there is a spiritual one. The level of the soul. And then, of course, one important thing, discrimination. You can't just say this or that. You have to discriminate what's right for you at what time. People say, I want to have higher consciousness, but I want to have all my pleasures too. St. Augustine has said, oh God, Lord, I want you so badly, but not yet. There's one very lovely exercise that you can do. It's more a matter of expressing your feelings and have some concentration and bring something of your sense perception into a different context to yourself. Look sometime at your right hand and think of an image of Krishna, Buddha, Jesus, whatever you want, till you'll be able almost to project that into your hand. And then look at your left hand and project Divine Mother, Saraswati, Tara, Virgin Mother into your left hand. So you have one male aspect and one female aspect. When you can do that both, put them together and hold them over your heart center, right over your heart, and think. And put a deep longing in. That is what you really would like to know and to be. United in yourself.